Welcome to Akoma Conversations, presented on Akoma News Network, with your hostess, Dr. Bertha Serwa Ayi, a medical doctor, specialist, author, and speaker.
Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Dr. Bertha Serwa Ayi. Welcome to Akoma Conversations. I'm the founder of Akoma Global, an organization that produces Akoma Morning Reflections and as well as Akoma Conversations. And Akoma Conversations focuses on highlighting individuals making a difference in Africa to inspire other people and to help us all develop Africa. So this week, I've been in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, at an organization conference called Consortium of African Medical Schools. And so I've been interviewing some of the leaders. And today I have as my guest, Professor Joshua Abubakar. And your last name?
Difa.
Okay, Difa.
Yeah.
And he's the provost of a medical college. And he's a very young man and a provost. So we're going to interview him, talk about how he got to be provost of the college, what he's getting out of this conference, and share some secrets with us about the challenges he's overcome and how he manages to be a good leader in the midst of everything that he has to handle as a provost. So welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. And so tell us a little bit about yourself, your name and your title.
Well, I'm Professor Joshua Abubakar Difa, consultant public health physician. I specialize in public health. Went to ABU Zaria Medical School where I obtained my MBBS, and I progressed to the National Postgraduate Medical College where I specialize in public health and community medicine. It wasn't actually my plan to be a professor ab initio, because my whole plan initially was just finish medical school, do residency, specialize in public health, come back to my state, because I was actually sponsored by my state to do the residency program after my undergraduate studies. So my plan was just to return, do the civil service after becoming a doctor and retire at the level of a permanent secretary. So I actually rose through the rank in the Ministry of Health from the state epidemiologist in 2012 after my residency, and I eventually became Director of Public Health in the Ministry of Health in my state, that's Gombe State, Nigeria.
What's the state?
Gombe State, Nigeria.
State.
Is a
Okay.
northeastern state. So in 2016, I became the Director of Public Health. In 2018, I decided to move to the university because there was need for faculties we have just opened a university in my state, a state university, which was established in 2004. And in 2010, we started medical school. And unfortunately, there are not enough hands to teach community medicine and public health. So I started teaching community medicine right from as a part-time from the Ministry of...
In that state university,
in that state,
2010.
Yeah. So I was doing like a part-time. I established community medicine while I was still the Director of Public Health. I established community medicine department, and as time went on, finally in 2018, I had to join the university. And I joined the university. I was appointed a senior lecturer in the university because I've been in the university for quite some time teaching, and I gathered the experience and I have some publications. So I was appointed a senior lecturer in the Department of Community Medicine. I served for 4 years. I became the deputy provost of the college. And in 2026, this year, February, I was appointed the provost of the College of Medical Sciences.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow, Provost.
Yeah.
That's a big position for
Yeah.
a relatively young man.
Young man. I'm 55 years old.
55. I'm also 55, but
Yeah.
you're still young. So tell us, where did you grow up? You said Gombe State.
Yes, I was born in Gombe State, Nigeria.
Were you from a wealthy family?
Well, no,
or were your parents physicians?
No. My dad was medical auxiliary. Those medical auxiliaries who were trained in 1958. The premier of the northern Nigeria, you know, in those, before the independence, we have 3 regions in Nigeria. We have the northern region, we have the eastern region, and we have the western region.
Okay.
And the premier of the northern Nigeria, where I came from, was promoting education, recruiting our parents, sending them to school. My father actually was a school teacher. He taught English language to at class 5 in those days to the best graduating medical student. In 1973 in A.B. Zaria Medical School was my father's pupil because he taught him English. So he was a teacher in primary school. But in 1958, my father progressed to medical auxiliary because there was scarcity of healthcare workers. And so the premier picked teachers and sent them for medical training. And so they were trained in Kaduna, that's the capital of the northeastern Nigeria in those days. 1958, 1960, my father qualified as a medical auxiliary. And so that's probably where I also learned a little about medicine.
About
because
medicine.
I grew up seeing my father treating patients. And in different aspects.
As a medical auxiliary, what did he do? Could he give injections?
It's beyond
was
injection.
He admitting patients?
It's beyond injection, although he was working in a dispensary. But I can remember when I was a kid, my father can he can apply POP on fractures, he can manage fractures, he can deliver the temporary center, and those I can remember because even when I grew up, my father was telling me the stories, how he was doing his things.
Right.
He managed snake envenomations, he can use a microscope as a medical auxiliary to diagnose tuberculosis in his dispensary and treat. He can treat patients with leprosy, and so they were well trained by the white men, and so they had a lot of experience. The only problem then was the progression because their certificate was just limited to a medical auxiliary. But some of them were able to go to medical school and become doctors.
Oh, they entered the medical school.
Yes, finally they entered medical school.
I see. So you had some inspiration.
Yes. I was actually inspired by my father.
Your father. And what about your mother?
No, my mom didn't go to school.
But she was a present mother. How many children did she have?
My mom had 16 children.
Your mother
16,
bore 6 children.
1, 2,
that is
3,
the
4.
highest. Maybe she'll set a record for Africa. Eh?
No, some people give birth to more than 16 children.
No, honestly.
And the good thing, 12 of us are still alive. My dad died in 2022 at the age of 100 years. My mom is still alive. She's 76 years now, and she's doing fine. And we are about 12 now siblings. 8 boys, 8 men, and 4 women.
Wow. So let me do the math. Your father was about 30 years older than your mother.
Yes, 20 something years, almost 30.
Almost 30?
That was not his first wife.
Oh,
he had another wife. We lost her.
So how many children did he have overall?
Oh, my dad had almost 20, 21, 22 children also.
And your mother had 16 of them?
Yes.
So she's still alive? Eh?
She's still alive.
That I said I give her to maybe I'll buy you a present to go and give to her. No, I will.
She's still alive and she's doing well and she's very strong.
So that there's a doctor who wants to congratulate her for, and you are number what?
Yeah, I'm number 3.
Number 3.
I have 2 elder brothers.
So you grew up with all these other siblings. Are you the only doctor among you? Medical doctor?
Yeah, I'm the only doctor. Others read education, agri, and information management.
Okay.
One is an accountant.
Wow. So how was it growing up? Was it a happy household?
Of course, a very
always
happy.
Playing?
You know, when we grew up, the world was a very peaceful place. No troubles, no abductions, no kidnappings as we are here, no armed robbery. In fact, we don't hear of armed robbery. The only time we start hearing about armed robbery was in the southern part of the country. people like Anini in those days in Nigeria. But in the northern part, when we were growing up, there was something like robbery. You can travel anywhere in the north, in the night, in the day, nothing happens to you. Small criminals, but they are not as dangerous as we used to have. And in the night, we play outside. You can even sleep outside. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Very peaceful. And when we went to primary schools, we trek. We went to primary school. Sometimes we trek, we cross rivers. Whenever we are going to primary school, we cross a river. So we raise our uniforms and our books off. We now cross over. And a very beautiful experience. We play in the river, we play football.
So you have to cross the river without crossing the river?
At a point, yeah, because my dad got transferred from one location to the other. So before we now finally park, I had to cross a river to go to school, but it was just for a short time.
But won't your books get wet?
No, you raise them up. You raise them up.
So you didn't have to swim like that?
No, you raise them up. But actually, some people can swim without, with their hands up. They can swim with their legs. I can't imagine. No,
you swim with your legs.
Some people can actually swim with their legs.
Really?
I know some of my friends, when we are growing up, they are very good, expert. No matter how big a river is, they can jump inside and cross.
That's why they have to have a special Olympics for those who can swim with.
Yeah, I'm serious.
This one happens only in Africa.
No, I'm telling you, you see, when we were kids, you see children playing, they can raise their hands up and swim with their legs. They beat the water with their legs. Probably you don't have plenty rivers. Let's face our interview, Dr. Bertha.
Anyway, so what sort of disciplinary measures did your parents put in place to help form you into, because medicine is you have to be very disciplined.
Yeah.
What did they do?
One interesting thing about my father, he was a disciplinarian, and because he had access to education, so he trained all of us. I remember when I was a kid, all my elder ones were told you must read every night. Then there was no electricity, so we used lamp. You sit around. I have a very big scar on my tummy because one day they were reading, my elder brothers were reading in the night. So I was running all over and I fell on the lamp and I sustained burns. So every night they read. So that's the culture we were raised up. We saw our elder brothers reading. But in my own case, when I was in primary school, I wasn't doing well because I actually entered primary school at the age of 5 years. In those days during our time, yes, they asked you to put your hand if your hand can touch the tip of your ear, then you are qualified to enter school. So when I went to the school, I followed my elder brothers, then my hand could not touch. I insisted that I must go to school. So my father said, let me go out. So I joined the school at the age of 5 years, primary school. In those days, there was no nursery in those days, only primary school. And so I joined at 5 years, but I was very small. So my level of concentration was poor, and I was just moving. I was moving. So when I got to primary 5, I used to take number 38 over 40 position. And so I was asked to repeat. So when I repeated, that's when I pick up from when I repeated class 5, instead of going to 6, I now wrote exams. I got position number 8. From 8, I dropped to number 4. From 4, I dropped to number 1. Then that's how I started taking first position.
First position?
Yes, from 38 to first position. And that's the magic. So repeating the class actually made me to become
because
serious.
Now you became a boss of the ones who are behind you.
Exactly. I now joined my real age
Your
mates.
real age mates.
And so I was doing one. So that actually opened basically those who used to take first position, you go to secondary school, you maintain your first position, and these are the set of people they ask you to go and read medicine. Whether you like it or not, they say good student must read medicine in those days.
Yeah,
unfortunately, So eventually all of us found ourselves in medical school, and I went to Zaria for my medical education. Eventually we went to Zaria, and the medical school wasn't so easy, especially in Zaria, because it was very stressful. Most people in the northern part of the country, they are aware of Zaria. And the beautiful thing about Zaria is that It's a school where we have a lot of internationals.
International
people, a lot of
students.
my classmates from Ghana, from Cameroon, from Sudan, this Sudan, not South Sudan. I have a lot of them now in the UK, El Bashir, Mutas, and the rest of them. And also we have some even from Niger Republic. We have a lot from the southern part of the country, especially the southwest, Kwara State, and so ABU Zaria in those days. If you go to ABU Zaria, you see Indians, you see Pakistanis in the same class, you see even Lebanese. In the same school, you see Chinese, because the Chinese people used to come to learn Hausa language, from China.
Why would they want to learn Hausa?
No, they
so
work
they can trade?
for radio stations in those days.
The Chinese
Yeah,
work
the
for
Chinese,
radio.
they came all the way from
Wait,
Chinese.
you're talking about 1980s.
1990. Yeah.
And the Chinese are learning
they
Hausa.
were students in ABU Zaria. They came to learn Hausa. They
So that
study
can-
Hausa.
So they can run radio stations in Hausa?
Well, I don't know what they sit for, but there were Chinese students in Zaria when I was a student. And it's a big university, because when I was an undergraduate in the 90s, over 30,000 students with 2-3 bigger campuses in Zaria. And in fact, the late Sultan of Sokoto, the premier, when he was establishing the university, he now said, this land, I'm giving the land from Zaria to Katsina State, very vast land. He said he wanted them to establish university, because the interest of Sardana of Sokoto in those days was to raise people who are educated. You see, in the 50s, the North was disadvantaged, because the Northerners didn't go to school. The Southerners have already gone to school. The missionaries came to Lagos, the southern part, the eastern part of the country, and so they have access to education. While the North, the missionaries did not come early. And so the Prime Minister, his target was to raise very elite, educated people, and that's why he was establishing schools, and so that we can compete with the southern and the western parts of the country. There was a competition, a kind of. And so that's what established ABU Zaria, and so many schools in Zaria. And so I went to Zaria. Eventually, I finished medical school. So immediately I finished medical school, I returned back to my state. I worked for 3 years, then I proceeded.
Which is the Gombe?
Yeah, Gombe. I returned because I was actually sponsored by the state for my medical studies education. During Danju Magoje and Abubakar Hashidu, he introduced medical salary scales for all medical students. If you are reading medicine, they sponsor you, they give you salary every month you are enrolled.
What?
And yeah, and
as a student?
Yes, as a student, and that's how we study medicine. And so eventually when you finish, you have to come back to your state and work for a minimum of 3 years, sometimes even 2 years. Now it's 2 years actually. I came back, I worked for 3 years, and now returned for my residency program, which I finished in 5 years.
In community health?
Yeah, in community health, which I did in Jos University Teaching Hospital. And eventually I graduated. I finished in 5 years and returned to Gombe in 2011-12. Then that's how I continue my work in the Ministry of Health, and eventually found myself in the university.
Okay. So the Northern policy, the other time you and I were talking, and I was saying that it's similar to what Kwame Nkrumah established in the northern part of our country, because Europeans had, interacted with the Fanti and the Ga and the coast, so they had high levels of education. So he had to put in a policy for free education up to university level. So within a matter of 50 years, there's been a change in the level. Yes.
The same thing happened to the northern part of the country. Because Sardana of Sokoto, the premier, also did the same thing. There was free education and people actually enrolled. But for some reasons, we are still backward, I can say, compared to the southern and the western part of the country.
It will take time, but at least it tells you that
that bridge cannot be, that gap cannot be bridged.
No, I don't think you should say that, because policies do make a difference. It may take a while.
Now, unfortunately, we don't have the likes of Sardana in the northern Nigeria.
Well, you mean the likes of the leadership?
No, we don't have. That's it, unfortunately. If we have sustained the likes of Sardana, they would have gone farther than. So
you don't believe in the, there's a Nigerian, is this Wole Soyinka who said the beautiful ones are not yet born?
Is it
Wole Soyinka who said that?
I can't remember. It's literature.
But you know, God always raises new people. If he was able to raise that leader, I'm sure there's a 7 or 10-year-old who is coming.
But what I'm saying, the Westerners and the Southerners, they are neither sleeping. They are also making. Anywhere we go, you see the Southerners and the Westerners are the most educated. They have the economy. They are in judiciary. They are in finance. They are in banking. They are in everywhere, medicine. So
you feel the Northerners have some catching up to do?
We have a long way to catch up.
But you know, the other thing I believe in, that they said you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone. Just go at your pace.
Because we are not comparing anything. We are just telling the reality.
Right.
One thing with me, reason why I can say I try to work hard, because I don't look at someone close to me. I also use the Southerners as a yardstick. Do you understand?
Yes,
to achieve.
yes.
Because if I remain,
you use them to inspire you.
Inspire. If I remain with where I am, I wouldn't have gone back for residency. People say, "What are you doing? How long? How long will you be reading?"
Hey.
Yes, how long will you be reading? When I finished my residency, I still went back to do my master's in public health. Again, I still went back to do my MD, Doctor of Medicine in public health, the national postgraduate, despite finishing my residency. See, because I look at the Yorubas, I look at the Igbos, who are very hardworking. I say, if I remained like my brothers, I will not go anywhere.
I see. So it was a positive reinforcement that, look, if they are doing it, I can do it too.
I can do it, exactly.
Wow, I've never thought of course, I'm not Nigerian, so I don't know all the dynamics, but you're pulling me in to see how a group of people can inspire other people. So let's talk about your medical school. You are now Provost. You talked about your rapid progression. I mean, being Provost means now you have schools under, you have 3 or something
faculties.
deans.
We have 3 faculties in the College of Medical Sciences. We have Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences, which has, it's a young university. We are growing. We are trying to expand. And we have a department of, actually we started with anatomy and physiology department because you need them to run biomedical biochemistry. You need them to run a medical college. You must have physiology, anatomy, biochemistry departments.
Anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry.
Yes. So that's when we started the medical school. They are there as basic medical sciences. But later we introduced BSc nursing, BSc pharmacology, BSc dietetic and nutrition. So now we have about 6 departments, and also public health, BSc public health. Under the Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences. Then we have the Faculty of Basic Clinical Sciences, which is in the teaching hospital, which has 5 departments: Department of Medical Microbiology, the histopathology, chemical pathology, hematology, and pharmacology. Then we have the other clinical sciences: community medicine, medicine surgery, pediatrics, O&G. Then we have ophthalmology, anesthesia, radiology, psychiatry. Yeah, these are the faculties, about 9 faculties in the clinical sciences. So departments, in the Faculty of Clinical Sciences. So basically, these are the number of faculties and the departments in each of. So the college, as Provost, you are responsible for coordinating the faculties, while the deans also coordinate the departments, the HO department, the faculty, while the head of departments coordinates the activities of each department, and so they report back to you in that reverse order.
Wow, you have a lot of departments under you, and you are doing it in your stride. We'll talk about
and
leadership.
We are still trying to expand. We want to start dentistry because we don't have dentistry. We only do MBBS, but so far the Medical and Dental Council has given us. They increased our quota. Initially, when we started, they only allow us to admit 50 students.
50?
Yes. So later, they increased it to 65. And in 2023, they increased, 2024, they increased our quota to 100. But now we have intervention, the federal government, because of the Japa syndrome, what we call Japa syndrome.
What's Japa?
Japa syndrome in Nigeria, many doctors or healthcare workers, they leave the country for greener pastures.
And why Japa?
Japa, to run away. That's the meaning of Japa.
What language is that?
It's Pidgin.
So is that a verb to japa?
Once,
If I say I japa, meaning I've left.
You are exiting the country. And
so it's not a noun. You can't say this person is
no,
japa.
but that's the language now. If you go to Nigeria, once you mention japa, anywhere they say japa is to run away, and especially among those well-educated people, they live in the country. And so because of this brain drain, let me use the word brain drain.
But I like the japa better. Because that one is cultural.
Yeah, because of this now, we are liking a lot of medical doctors, nurses, even faculties you see in universities. And so the federal government brought some interventions. 14 medical schools were selected for intervention. Some federal institutions, some state. They are building hostels. They are
all in the Gombe state?
Yeah, no, I'm talking the whole country.
Oh, 14.
14 medical schools were selected, including our Gombe State University.
Okay.
Our medical school was also selected. And so we have, they are expanding our laboratories, student hostel, lecture theater, so that we can accommodate more students. We can have more students because, you know, before you are given the license, or sorry, the increase in your quota, you have to have structures
to support,
and also the human resource for health, or let me say the lecturers. So basically that's what the federal government is doing now in our country, and so they are doing it step by step. 14 medical schools were selected. After that, more schools will be selected. They are doing interventions, and even equipments. They're going to provide equipments for those schools based on demand or needs of those schools. So these are all measures to produce more doctors, nurses, pharmacists in the country to replace those who are leaving.
So what if, let's just say, what about finding a way to provide so much incentive that they want to stay? Like in rural America, what they've done is sometimes when you go and work in rural America, they forgive your student loans. Of course, in Nigeria, people don't have student loans, but they give incentives, forgive your student loans, make it comfortable for you to, like things that will stop people from leaving.
Yes, like in the past,
because what
as
if
I was telling you, you know, when I finished medical, you know, when I was in medical school, I was placed on salary so that when I finish, I will return. Unfortunately, this government, the current government came and stopped the program. So all our students now may not likely come back because they are not sponsored.
So when you say you were being paid, from what year did that stop?
The moment you get enrolled in medical school, from 100 level,
just your Gombe state?
Yes,
or?
no, some state in the north. Because the first state that we started was Borno State started, then Bauchi State, then Yobe, then Gombe State, then other states also started in the northern part of the country, because the northern part of the country is where we are lacking in terms of human resource for health. And so they only targeted medicine, nursing. They started with medicine, then later they include nursing students, then later laboratory scientists, then pharmacy students, and some states even included veterinary students. Yeah, this is just to encourage students to go for health-related courses. Because we were lacking.
Wow, you go to school and then you get paid.
Yeah, you get paid.
Is it a full salary like a doctor?
Yes, they give you like a no. What they give as a student, they give you like a basic. They give you the basic with no allowances, but the basic then was good because
you could rent a house.
Yeah, address most of your problem. It can help you buy textbooks. You can eat well.
You can even get married.
Some of us actually got married.
You got married.
Yeah, I did. I had a very high taste, so I could not marry with that small money. I had to wait until I finished medical school.
So you said 6 years ago that's student stipend
was
stopped. So how is it impacting? So at the same time of stopping it, they've also chosen 14 schools to expand so that there'll be more.
No, the 14 school is federal government.
Federal government.
The issue of the salary, I'm just talking of the allowances, just my state government. You know, I work with the state university.
Right.
I was also working with the state. So I'm just talking of my own state government, not the federal. Now, the intervention, you see, the federal government's intervention, they don't restrict it only to federal institutions. education is education. So when they are intervening, they also include state universities. If you go to my university, all the structures, most of the projects you see, they are by the federal government, TETFON. So it's not the state even that is. The state is only responsible for payment of salaries and some allowances and others, because almost all the structures were built by the federal government.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a federal money.
So talking about federal money, you told me that your university or medical school is probably the cheapest medical school in the world.
Yes, that's
they
the way
pay
I think.
about $100 the whole year, or is it per semester? The maximum is $200, and you converted it. You said $1 is about 1,500 naira.
1,450, yeah.
You said, and $1 is 1,500 naira.
Yeah.
And they're paying school fees of 400 and...
No. The school fee is we have indigents, those who are from the state and non-indigents. Those who are from the state, they pay less than 150,000. That's what I'm saying.
150,000.
Yes, less than 150,000.
So that's
$100
for medical
just 100,
school.
yeah, around 161. So yeah, 161.
Okay, it's probably not so. For Ghana, for example, until maybe 10 or something years ago, our medical school was free.
Yeah.
We didn't pay anything. So maybe 100 for that place.
But even during our time when I was in ABU Zaria, I think the highest you pay was 19 naira, including accommodation. Then.
So you also pretty much got free medical education.
Yeah, it was almost free. But even in my college, it's just recently that the university increased the tuition, because we don't get much support from the state government, and you are lacking some stationaries. You want to do exams, you want to do contest assessment, you want materials, you want detergent to wash offices, all this.
Now you start becoming home manager.
Yeah. So that's why the school fee was increased, but last time it was just 20-something thousand. I remember 25 medical students pay 40. It was the last 1 or 2 years that the school fee was increased to 161,000 also. So
somebody from Ghana or Cameroon can apply as a non-indigent and be paying $200 a year for medical school.
If he write, the only thing that will qualify him is if he has good JAM score, and also JAM score, because what we are doing in my state is a state university, but we give room for non-indigents.
10%, you said?
10%, yes. And when we say this 10%, then to include even a Ghanaian, if he apply and has the highest, if he have the right score.
I see.
Yeah, because it's competitive, so it's based on scoring, on student who pass.
What's the name of the exam?
JAM, Joint Admission and Matriculation
Junior
Board.
Admission.
Joint
Admission
and Matriculation Board. That's the board.
Okay.
But it's we call it I can't remember.
Okay, but there's an exam.
Yeah.
So let's say an American.
Unified Matriculation University Examination. I can't remember precisely.
So an American living in Maryland or Illinois or whatever wants a good but cheap medical school, and they can study and pass the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board. They can actually apply to your school.
They can apply.
And so please, if you're out there and you want to attend, because even in Ghana now, the basic minimum people pay is $12,000. You want to attend a medical school for $200 a year, and you have such an outstanding person to be your provost, you're guaranteed good. Please apply to, what's the name of your school again?
Gombe State University.
Gombe State University.
Yeah.
Wow, please don't be surprised.
I used to tell my students that this is sometimes even when you ask students to pay school fees, some they will not pay. You have to be following them because they're government school. So I told them this is the cheapest university in the whole world.
In the whole world?
Yeah, because as far as I'm concerned, anywhere you go, you pay money. Anywhere you go, you pay money. I know in federal, there is University of Medical Sciences in Ondo State. They pay about 500 to 600. I'm not very sure, 1,000. So when you convert that, it's around 400, let me say, around $400. Even that one is not up to $500.
Wow.
Yeah, because when you convert Yeah, it's around 400-500.
Wow. So you're going to get a flood of admissions, but you said you're going to graduate your 6th batch.
Yes.
And now the 100 students are going to graduate?
No, it's 44 now.
44.
What
so
is the intake that we take 100?
Intake,
yeah.
Okay. So it's not like a large medical school.
Yeah, it's not. We are just expanding gradually.
Gradually. But then, I mean, 10% out of 100 means 10 people if you're lucky and you live somewhere and you just want, but then they'll have to pay for accommodation and food and all that.
No, including accommodation.
Everything is paid for.
Yeah, everything.
Hey, I'm going to invite a lot of people to this.
Including accommodation.
Wow, and it's $100. That's unbelievable, eh? That is really, really. Is that what was the situation with the Zaire where you went to medical school?
Well, I cannot speak for Zaria because
Zaria is called.
Zaria. But even in Zaria, it may not be that expensive. I know in Zaria, it may not. I don't think it will be more than 200,000-300,000 in Zaria.
Okay. So the other time let's shift to yourself and your classmates. Those who went to Zaria, you said some went to US, UK. There are some Ghanaians.
Yeah, a lot of them. Amoas, the Amoas, Juliana Amoa and her brother. Yeah, Amoas. Their father was in Kano, a medical doctor. So we happened to be in the same class. 2 of them finished. I don't think they're in this country. The Amoa, they're a sister and a brother. The brother has gone. I don't know. Even the Julie has gone.
Okay, so Juliana and Isaac Amoa, class of 2010 or 2002.
Yeah.
If you're out there somewhere in UK, Prof. Joshua is sending warm regards to you. Yeah. And tell me, you said you spent 11 years. We both entered medical school the same year.
Yeah,
but because of Aluta, I spent 6 years. In fact, ours was delayed by 1. Yours was delayed by more.
What
so
I
you
was
spent
telling
11
you,
years
see, in ABU Zaria, we really suffered because of strike actions by ASU, Academic Staff Union of Universities. And even when we moved to the clinicals, nurses will go on strike, resident doctors will go on strike. So all this counts. And you know, there was time ABU Zaria was closed for almost a year.
A year?
Yeah, I think during Abacha, General Abacha, there was crisis in the school, the leadership of the school, and so they have to appoint a military administrator who came and closed the school for almost a year to set. So all those count that roughly 10 years. Some people spend 11, 12, some.
All because of Aluta.
Yeah, and some because of academic performance. If you repeat a class, of course, it will count.
But
in medical school in Zaria, I know some people who repeated and repeated and repeated. You repeat a class, some repeat every set. They repeat.
but you know why it may not bite?
Yeah.
If you are getting paid for being in medical school, you cannot.
No, unfortunately, it's not even those who are being paid. Even those who are not paid, they can repeat. Zaria, many people were afraid to go to ABU Zaria Medical School. I remember there was a time, if 150 students were admitted, almost not more than 60 will make it to final year.
Wow, the rest of them, they leave for other reasons?
Yeah, no, academic performance, you'll be withdrawn.
Wow, that would be tough, eh?
Once you repeat and you repeat again, you'll be withdrawn. So that's the problem.
Do you think it's because there were too many of them? Like if it was a small class?
Not really, because medical education in Zaria was tough. I am telling you, ask any Nigerian.
Rigorous, eh?
It's very rigorous. Very rigorous.
Exams and viva.
Exams, so many things. We write tests in community medicine, biostatistics every week. You write tests every Saturday. You write tests. You have tests in biochemistry. You write after you write. You hardly score. If you score 3/10, you are the star, and you'll be celebrated in those days. 3/10 every. So it wasn't easy. Anybody who listened to me and he passed through Zaria will testify to what I'm saying. It wasn't easy.
But do you think
so many of my classmates, depression, some schizophrenic, some even left the school as a result of mental illness.
Do you think Africans and or maybe back then, they made medical education too hard. You know, I had a professor, I won't mention his name. He used to teach us anatomy. Then he went to Tulane University for a year. He came back completely changed because at that time he was very, very strict with the anatomy viva. Very difficult.
You know why I'm laughing.
When he came back,
some of them, like sadists, they were sadists.
What?
You know,
When he
some
came
of
back-
them, they were sadists. They can easily fail you.
Yes. But when he came back, he was completely changed.
Yeah.
Things were simpler. I think he went to see that you're just
it's
teaching
not,
people
it's
stuff
unnecessary.
so that they can take care of patients. It doesn't have
we
to
had
be.
we have some kind of this type of lecturers also. But one thing I later realized when I moved to the clinicals, those lecturers who are financially stable, they are not wicked. And those who, based on experience, you know some lecturers that are rich and they have some money, and when you see their lifestyle, you know they are enjoying. Those people are not wicked. But those who are very poor, even in those days, the salary we are talking today, it's not. It did not start today. Long time. I remember when I was a student, some house officer have to do contribution to buy television, you know?
Yes.
They have to do contribution.
that's
But
why
later,
people
a house
left.
officer will use his money to buy a car. But in those days, you have to do contribution, monthly contribution. This one bring 5,000 out of his 15,000 salary, 3,000. Then you buy a TV.
Then you cannot
You
watch
buy
communal TV.
But later, when Abdul Salam became president, they increased salary. Later, the politician Obasanjo came, and you can see house officers even doing contribution to buy cars. And they also do contribution to marry and the rest of them. But later
Contribution to marry?
Unfortunately, I think what brings about most of this problem is the depreciation in our naira.
The currency.
Yeah, the currency. Just some few years ago, naira $1 is equivalent to 500. Now it is 1,400.
Yeah.
3 times, more than 3 times. And also so many factors, economic factors. So it affects everybody. So basically, that's.
Yeah. So, I mean, it brings to mind the fact that, in spite of the very difficult process of becoming a doctor, in Africa, in a lot of places, the doctors are in pain from just the low level of salary.
Yeah, it is.
And then, the medical school was hard. You go through all this mental difficulty.
Mental stress, yeah.
And then you finish hoping to get a good salary. And it's not very, very good. In fact, when I was a house officer, my salary I liked drinking Fanta a lot. I could, whatever Fanta I bought, like half of the month, my Fanta was finished. And I was back to being dry,
Yeah.
Anyway, so because of that, many people leave. So I want you to talk to some young doctors. I get a lot of questions from them. They want to leave. Some don't mind staying, but these days, I don't want to go into the things going on in my country, for example.
Yeah.
But the doctors are feeling threatened. People's perception is that they are being too demanding, and the public they don't see that these people have put in a lot of effort to become doctors. So some want to leave, and I counsel them that if you leave the country, immediately you have good financial output, but after a while you plateau in life compared to somebody like you who will become provost. So talk to some young people who are wondering that in spite of the low salary, should they stay in Africa after they graduate, or should they travel or seek greener pastures? This is a difficult...
Yeah, it's a very difficult thing to say because right from medical school, when I was in medicine, immediately we finished, I saw the likes of Samoa and a lot of my friends moving to the UK. Well, I thought they were not patriotic in the first place because even then the economy was not that bad. But maybe they just want to be in the UK in those days.
They want to good experience, nice road, constant water.
That was not my heartbeat because my plan then, as I told you, even the professorial thing was not my interest. I just wanted to go, after middle school, go back to my state, work as a doctor, help people, and finally retire at the age of 60. and go back to my farms. So, but later I realized, one day I told myself, I said, Joshua, those guys who left were actually smarter. And some of them are in the UK, some in the United States of America. They have good life there. Their children are having good education. Here am I in Nigeria and suffering from so many things, economic hardship, financial, despite the fact that I'm the provost. Not everybody will become provost at a time. I used to tell my friends that not all of us will become vice chancellors, ministers, commissioners of health. It's one at a time. So it's not everybody who will become provost or the opportunity to become provost. And so it does not apply to anybody.
Everybody.
So you may remain in Nigeria still and work and work and work, and you die of poverty and you don't become provost.
Provost.
Becoming provost doesn't make you rich, because there is nothing, no money in being a provost, only that there is what we call a self-actualization.
Self-actualize. You believe that?
Yeah, even if once you become provost, at least that is the peak in medical career, in medical career. Yeah. Professor, a consultant, people see you and they say, doctor, professor. Whenever they call me prof, I say, but there is no money. It's only a big name.
You know, we had a professor like that, Professor Naida. He was professor of surgery.
Yeah.
You know, on rounds, you say, you know, in my hometown, they always invite me to sit at the big table, but I don't have any money to match with.
Anyway, but back to the students. Well, there is nothing wrong in going to UK, US, because a lot of opportunities abound there, and you can learn so many things better than those who stay. But we also have to remain in our countries and build our country. Like, I'm so proud that very soon I'll be graduating the 6th set, and this first set of medical students in Imo State University, I taught them from 100 level, because I was teaching history of medicine, medical sociology, I was teaching biostatistics and demography. I taught them all the courses in community medicine from first to the last set, and even the current set, because I have other consultants working under me, so that relieved me of. But before, all the students, I took all the classes. And so I'm very happy today that I'm graduating the 5th set of medical doctors. And any hospital I go now in Gombe, in my state, or even outside, I see my students.
You see, and they go, prof.
Yes, and they held me, and immediately they come and ask me, what brought you here? Do you have a patient so that we can help you? And that makes me happy.
Wow.
Some of them call me for advice, for counseling. Others want to join NGOs, Medical Sans Frontiers, whatever. I told them, if you must join all organizations, you join, but make sure that you get a master's degree or a PhD if you don't want to come to the clinical side and specialize. So basically, that's my advice to them. The truth is that even all of us, not all of us must go abroad. Some must remain and work and help our people, because if all of us leave, what will happen to our parents? What will happen to our younger ones, to our cousins, even our children? So there is need for us, but I also want to call on the government also. The government must look in and try to improve the take-home pay for especially medical doctors, nurses, those working in healthcare, so that they can remain.
So that they don't japa.
Every occupation, every specialty is good, not only doctors. I think the government must work on our economy, because if the economy is good, everything is bearable. So truly, I don't want to say young men should not leave. And another good thing is that even if they leave, they are still representing our countries.
Yes.
Because if you go to UK, you go to, like the Chinese, the Indians, they go to US, they go to UK, get the technology, then they come back. Now, like surgery now, they do. Now we are talking of, now this comes up. We are talking of AI, we are talking of digitalization and so many things. You see, you can go abroad, learn the technology, then you can come back. You can come back. 1 week, 2 weeks, you are in your state, you are in your country, you work, you go back. It's easy now. The world is a very small place now.
Right.
You can fly from London to Lagos to Accra and do whatever and go back. So you now export the technology back home. And you can also establish some foundations where you can touch the life of so many people. So entirely, it's not a wrong thing. I train, when I was a student, my teachers in Zaria used to tell us that they don't train us to work in Nigeria. They are training us so that anywhere we go in the world, we can represent the college. And I tell my students the same thing, that we
Yeah.
are not training you to just work in Gombe. You will find one day you go to Sokoto, one day you go to even outside the country. So the most important, they have to be trained well, so that anywhere they go, they can represent your institution. But the good thing is that some of us have to remain and salvage the country.
Well, thank you for staying and celebrating the country. And the comments you made about training locally, I think, and then representing globally, that has been the case for a lot of our medical, because Nigerian and Ghanaian doctors go anywhere and they excel. Like there's no diagnosis that we can't make because we receive really good training. So you train the person to be able to survive in any place. In fact, I ran into a teacher who was telling me that in the educational system in America, there's no school that you won't find a Ghanaian or Nigerian teacher. And I found that interesting. So I told him that, well, in our medical circles, they also say there's no hospital in America that you won't find a Ghanaian or a Nigerian doctor, right?
Yeah, right.
So we're all over.
Yeah.
We're overproducing for the rest of the world. But we're here at COMSA, Consortium of Medical Schools in Africa, which has been apparently long overdue. I was talking with Dr. Beckley, and he said apparently it was an association of medical schools in Africa. AMSA, way back, and it's been dying and resurrecting and dying. And this was established last year, and this is the second one. And out of 400 and something medical schools, last year 131 signed on, and this year we have 190 or something.
Yeah, 191.
Out of, is this really 400 and something medical schools in Africa? Okay, so
191 have signed in now. So we have about 191 who joined COMSA.
Okay, and there's no subscription or barrier to entry. If you're a medical school and you're dean, you just register. So that's what has been your perception of COMSA? How do you like it? What do you think is adding to your school? Like you were running your school for a few years, and then COMSA comes and says, join us. And I get the opportunity to meet you, for example, but how is it helping?
Well, I'm just coming to COMSA for the first time. Last time, because I was appointed in February.
Oh, so this is your first COMSA?
The one in Kigali was attended by my Provost, the former Provost, Professor Manga. And so, but coming to Addis for COMSA, I'm so excited because just the few days we spent, we started with an AGM for the deans, then the second day, yesterday and today, I've learned so much. And I have met a lot of friends, I met a lot of people who there is that potential for collaboration. And you can't work in isolation as an institution, especially medicine. You have to collaborate with people, you have to work with institutions. There are a lot of opportunities that we can tap in. And the issue of AI, the issue of digitalization, the issue of transfer of technology. If you remain in your cocoon, in your country and your state, and
you're a silo.
Yes, and you see over the years we remained just the AMSA, as we are saying, has been docile, dormant for so many years. No activity, not in the no medical school. Only students were actually interacting. Like if I tell you the students, medical student union in my college, they always travel. The presidents are traveling. They are even doing well, better than the schools themselves. But now with the coming of COMSA, I think it's an awakening call.
So you said the medical students union in your schools, they are thriving, they're doing well.
Yeah, because just now we listened to a presentation by the representative of the West African Medical School Associations. So they are even doing better than the medical schools because they have a network. I listened to so many students' presentations about AI, and I was very impressed. One of the students in University of Abuja, he presented yesterday, and another girl from Kenya, another girl from Zambia, and they did very well. And I'm so happy also seeing a lot of students. I wish this is the West African region so that some of our students can also go easily. But subsequent, I think, meeting in Namibia, there is also a plan to also carry along students for the conference. And it's very interesting because I've met so many people, and the potentials for collaboration is high. And I think this thing will go a long way in changing the perception of so many things about medical education. And also, not only that, I also like the passion about medical education, you know, and you need to be educated as a teacher to educate others. So if, as a teacher, you don't have some form of medical education, then there is a problem. So how to deliver the lectures will be a problem.
How to deliver.
But I think with this technology, we cannot run away from the technology. The technology has come and it must stay. It has come to stay and it must, and so there's nothing we can do. We just have to key in, because most of the faculties are old, and you know, change is a difficult thing. Most people may not like change, but we have to learn from our students, and because the students are already part of it.
Wow. And you know, so talking about students and interacting, actually I came here representing my organization. I formed it. It's called Akoma Global.
Yeah.
And one of the things I want to do, I've started, is a concept called Akoma African Health Sciences Society.
Yeah.
So this is a membership-based society, but the goal is to link all the medical students in Africa with all the attendings and faculty. So somebody in Zambia, a medical student in Zambia can reach out to you about a project you are doing. So although COMSA is connecting African schools, this platform will connect all healthcare providers with the goal for networking, finding common solutions, and finding common educational material, printing, publication, research. So it's going to be a very interesting.
Nice.
So I'm hoping that, you know, I'm going to partner with your students.
No problem.
You give me access to your students, and I'll come and visit your.
No problem.
And then tell them about.
I'm bringing your son so that he get admission.
Yes.
Cheapest medical school.
Cheapest medical school.
Yeah.
So this has been amazing. Is there anything else that you would like to share about your school, or just even the energy from this conference? Next year, is it going to be in Namibia?
Yeah, Namibia.
Namibia. What city in Namibia? What's the capital of it?
Is it Windhoek? Somebody was trying to pronounce
Windhoek.
Windhoek.
They've decided already?
Yeah, they decided finally.
They voted.
Yeah.
I think Nigeria wanted it, and Ghana also. So.
Yeah, they would have done it in Ghana, not Nigeria. We're not ready now.
Okay, so we should book our tickets to Namibia about the same time. Okay, we're coming for COMSA. So anything else you want to share with people? What we didn't touch on was your leadership. Like, you know, we always assume somebody's a provost. It's easy. You don't know that every day it's a lot of discipline, because you have a lot of people reporting. What do you want to share about your leadership and
let me say most
discipline?
sincerely, when I was appointed the provost, few days I was getting tired. Like yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I slept 3 o'clock because I have to be doing my work. Yeah, I have to be doing my work. See, a lot of work. And a lot of phone calls,
you said you had to send a list of graduating
students, medical and dental council. I have to be calling the deans, the head of department. That is one. The VC may likely send another one. You see, a lot of work you don't rest. I go to work. I sometimes close 7 o'clock. I go from 7 to 7 sometimes, and you go back home. You are tired. It's not generally easy, and but there is satisfaction, because at the end of the day, all the activities you have done, when you look back, you realize that it's not in vain, and you are touching lives. So that's the most important thing. There is no money in medicine. I used to tell people that if you want money, don't come to medicine. But in medicine, you touch life. And one thing I learned generally in life is that your success, the level of success, is not depend on the amount of money, how the cars you have, but how many lives you do touch. That's all.
I mean, I don't know if are you Muslim or Christian?
I'm a Christian.
Christian, okay. Yeah. You know, there's a verse that Jesus said that a man's life does not consist in the abundance of things which he possesses. And sometimes I think about it, then I try to rephrase it and say, well, a man's life consists in the number of lives you're touching, the number of people who remember that you've been kind to them, and the number of people, positive interactions.
Positive
interaction, because, you know, I watched a short video that Warren Buffett and his friend, I forget his name, he has a good friend. And they were talking about how people have millions and nobody likes them. They don't have somebody to love them. And even at the end, they said sometimes they wish they could give $1 million for somebody to say they love them, you know. So your life is not consists in the abundance of things, but in the number of lives that you are impacting.
And that's why it's fulfilling. It's fulfilling. And truly, you see, when I became professor, some people are saying, Minister of Commissioner. I say, why are you thinking that way? See, allow me to be a teacher. You see, when a professor actually is supposed to teach. A professor is supposed to train. You know, besides medical students, also train resident doctors in the teaching hospital. So you see, this is something, and I'm so happy that the first set of medical doctors who train under me, they all went for exams, about 4 of them now, 4, 5, all of them passed their part 1 exam at one sitting.
Wow.
All of them, and I promise them that none of them will go 2 times, because we sit down and we do the real thing. I have the support of other consultants who are doing well in my department, and I'm so happy that, and I promise them that all of them will pass their exams at one sitting. There's no point. I encourage them. Some of them, they say they were not ready. I say, no, you must go. They say, sir, I'm not ready. I say, you must go. And they went and they passed.
And you encourage them.
I told them that the rate at which we're discussing, they will pass the exam, and they pass. So that's the beauty of training people, because by the time you look around in the next few years, you see a lot of consultants, a lot of doctors that you train. You'll be so happy.
It's so exciting. We're changing Africa. And this conference here is particularly meaningful to me, because I feel like 70 years ago, this is where Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana met with a few people, and they formed at that time, they call it the Organization of African Unity. And they strongly believed that Africa could connect mentally, intellectually, from a road system standpoint, information. Unfortunately, that was derailed. And recently, I don't know if you've seen a video by Jeffrey Sachs, where he's saying that...
Professor Sachs.
Yes, he's saying that...
Economics.
Yes. He's saying that, you know, Africa is going to be the next big economic thing, and that we need to prepare. And the way to prepare is to educate our children and also start working together as a continent. So this is really historic. And to think we're in Addis Ababa, and I'm going to ask the cameraman to just switch the camera and just show the African Union flag. Just show all the... This is the African Union flag. I am walking to my Ghana flag. This is the Ghana flag. We're very happy to be here.
This is my own.
And this is Kenya, right? This is Kenya. And this is a Nigerian flag. So, and then he can show the rest of the flag. So, I don't know every flag, you know, but I think...
This is Kenya.
Kenya. I don't know.
This is Egypt.
This is Egypt? Okay.
And the rest.
And the rest, yes. So we're very, and then, this is the World Health Organization flag. Professor Joshua, a proud graduate of, what's the name of your
school? Bello University.
Ahmadu Bello University, where Chinese come and learn Hausa, and there were Ghanaians,
Cameroonians, Sudanese,
a proud alumnus of that.
Pakistanis, Indians, many of them.
And now you've gone on through all the ranks, served your time, you know, director of public health, and now you're provost of a state university. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for spending time with us. I think a lot of people will find this very valuable. Do you have like an Instagram page or your school website that people should, if they want to know more about your school, where do they go?
Yeah, just log into Gombe State University.
Gombe State University.
Yeah.
The cheapest medical school
Yeah.
in the whole world.
In the whole
All
world.
right. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Dr. Bertha.
Yes.
Bertha.
Yes, Bertha.
Ayi.
Yes. And my Ghanaian name is Adjoa Serwa Bonsu.
Serwa. Oh.
Adjoa means I was born on a Monday.
Okay.
Serwa Bonsu because I'm named after my grandfather.
Okay.
Ose Bonsu is a female version. He's a grandson of an Ashanti king.
Okay.
So I'm a great granddaughter of an Ashanti king.
Oh,
so Adjoa
that's
Serwa
interesting.
Bonsu. That's my, So
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
Have
you.
a nice
And so viewers, thank you for joining us. I hope you've learned a lot from this interview. We're coming to you from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. You can follow us on Instagram, etc. at Akoma News Network or Akoma Conversations. So thank you for joining us. And until next time, this has been Dr. Bertha Serwa Ayi.